Hey everyone, this is Vicki from Messy Table Studio. Sorry, I poked my finger in my eye. I'm having a stamping sort of day today. I bought, where is it? There we go. I bought this. Is it Yankee wet tissue paper. Wet strength tissue paper. And I've had it a while and haven't used it. And I was watching a video. Let's see if I can get her last name, or first, it's Elizabeth St. Hilaire. I was watching one of her videos and she was using wet strength tissue paper. So I thought that I would try it. And I looked for half an hour trying to remember where I put mine because I rearranged my studio this past summer and put stuff away in a good place and then can't find it. What I'm doing is I'm stamping things that I've carved and using archival ink because this stuff's going to get really wet. And I had an idea that I would wet my tissue paper and use Color Burst. Now I only have 3 colors. I have the olive green, I have the orchid, and the, oh, I don't know what this, I can't see it. What is it? G-A-M-B-O-G, Gambo, whatever it is. That's what I got because it came in a trio packet off of Amazon, and I bought this to experiment with it. And I've only used it a couple times, but I figured this wet strength stuff is the perfect thing to use it on. And I've already stamped 3 other halves of tissue paper. This tissue paper comes in a 27 by 19, so I took a bunch of them when I first got it and I cut them in half so that, oh sorry, no you can't see that, so that I can use them. And I quickly found out that archival ink will bleed through this paper, and so I put a scrap piece of paper down to absorb what's left over on the back side of it, which looks pretty good compared to the front, so that I can put the water on it later. I want to make sure it's not all smeary when I first start. I'm hanging these up on my retractable clothesline here in the studio so that the ceiling fan will blow them dry. It's my favorite blow dryer. All right, let's put that down here so you can see this. All right, these are, like I said, these are stamps that I carved. I don't know, in Carved December. There's that one. And there's the paper up there that has this one. I love these round rubbers, carving rubber. My niece gave them to me and it came in a pack of 24, and I think I've managed to use all but 1 or 2 of them, and I like the round ones. Pretty cool, and they're nice and thick and heavy. I think they're great. I think maybe she might have gotten them off of Amazon, but I'm not sure. Probably. All right, so this one's done. And I have to hang it up, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a tip for you for if you hang up tissue paper or very light, wispy paper on a clothesline and you have a ceiling fan. I'm going to take a picture of something I thought of this morning because it blows in the wind from the ceiling fan trying to dry the ink, and it wraps itself around itself on the clothesline. But I have a solution. I will take a photo and try to remember to insert here, and then you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to get another piece of paper out. Let's see, where's the other one? Here it is. And my blotting paper. And then I want to stamp something out of my pick here. I need to put these guys back in here so I keep all my stuff together. Maybe I'll do the little flower. I use these stamps for my Artemat things. And, oh, I'm going to do that one too. And so I try to keep them all together and keep them arranged nicely so that when I go to find them, they will be there. Because I'm so absent-minded lately. Oh, there's another one I could use. This one. See, look. I might be doing this all day at the rate I'm going. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so put these away. All right, so all I'm doing is just using archival ink, and I'm using black to see how it does. This is the only black ink that I have that's, well, maybe not. I guess the StazOn is not water activated. But I wanted an ink that won't run as soon as I put down water on it and the color burst. That will be my background. There's that one. So what I'm just doing is making pattern tissue paper for a later date. This satisfies my need to create today, even though I need to be vacuuming. My friend Susan Martinez said, "Vicki, what can't you do?" And I said, "Clean house." And that's probably really too close to the truth for me. All right, so I'm going to finish stamping these up. You don't need to see me spend all afternoon stamping these. And then I'm going to add water, and I'm going to see what happens. I've never done this before. So this will be an experiment for everyone involved. I'm going to try it out and see what it turns out like. So I will see you. Now we're going to add water. Okay, so I'm not really exactly sure how I'm going to do this next part, but let me show you. These are the things that were in the photo on the, this way, on the clothesline, because it's hard to see that through this stuff. Hang on, let me pull this out. There we go. So that's one that was on the clothesline, and it takes a while for this stuff to dry. I really like this one. They're little roses shaped. It's a rose shaped in a heart shaped. Then these are just basic petals. You could do them for 4-leaf clovers. You could do flowers. I'm going to use these as flowers, not 4-leaf clovers, but that is an option. These are leaves. And this is a very skinny little flower. And I have 2 more hanging up behind me, but they're not dry yet, so I'm not going to get them down. All right, so I think I will start with my first one I stamped this morning, because it probably is the driest of the ones that I've got. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. I want to put something down on top of this. Well, forget it. I'll just throw caution to the wind. All right, so I guess what I need to do is I guess I need to wet the paper. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to just I know, because if I do that, then it'll smear. Okay. Told you, I have no idea what I'm doing. Why would today be different than any other day I play? All right, so I'm just going to wet it down with water, and you can see the ink is not moving, so it really is dried very well. So now my paper is starting to crinkle because it's getting saturated. So let me move it up a little higher. And I see it's taking on some of the leftover color from other projects on my board, and that's what I was afraid of. Oops. I did not want that to happen, but when you don't always clean up well, what can I say? All right. Now, this is what I'm going to do. If I can get the lid off. Just kind of shake it. See, and I should have left that white thing on there because you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Just like, oh, well, oh, it shows up better on camera than it does in person. Alrighty then. Okay. And we're going to do some of this. Come on, come out. Sprinkle. Shake something. Do it. All right. And then I'm going to use my purple because I can. I have it. Ooh, this one comes out much better than the others. Thank goodness. Okay. Now, I need my spray bottle. Hang on a second. I am so not prepared for this. Wait, it's on my cards. Okay. Wow, it really spreads. This is way too much water for this. And, oh, it bleeds right through the paper onto the surface. That is so not what I wanted. Okay. Well, that's way too much. Let's hope it dries more clear. All right, so I'm going to smush it around with the paintbrush because this is just too much. Try to go in the places that it didn't go. And the purple is overwhelming, so I have a feeling my whole thing, you'll never see any of the green. It'll just all be purple. Experimentation. Okay, let's spread some of the green. Let's do the purple this way so it's out of the way. There's a little bit of yellow in there. I have a feeling it's just all going to be purpley. I have some sheet pans from Dollar Tree that I dye papers on, so I think what I might do is lay this stuff on that sheet pan. I need more color down here. Come on, come on, come on. Lay this on the sheet pan and see how well it dries. I don't know. I'm not real optimistic. Oh, look at that. It looks better on camera. A little more green over here. I would like some blue, but all these three colors, like I said, oh, whoa, that's a lot of green. These three colors are the only ones that I have, so this is what I'm going to use. I think she set another paper underneath it, if I remember correctly. All right, so let me go get a sheet pan. For those of you who follow my my channel will know that this is the cleanest my sheet pans have ever been since the day I bought them. Believe me, this is the exception, not the rule. All right, so I'm going to try to lift this thing up as wet as it be and put it down on top of, oh my God, look at all the excess stuff on the paper here. Wow, look at that. That's too dark. And I'm going to sop this up. Where am I going to put this sheet pan? Oh gosh, I'm going to have to put it on the floor. All right, more paper. So, wow, look at that. Woohoo! That's a lot of liquid. Oh, good gracious. Okay, well, we have made a bang-up job of this, haven't we? I kind of was hoping it would sop more up. It's very dark. It'll be great for a white pen. And then I'm going to hang this up on the clothesline. That other stuff I'm not going to put up there on the clothesline because it is absolutely too saturated. So I might have to wait a couple days for it to dry and see how it goes. I wonder if I take a wet brush to this, will it spread more? A little bit. Can I take it off of here? Why not try? Come on, soak up. Oh, it did a little bit. Look at that. Does this remind you of those things that they fold in half and pull out and then they go, what do you see? It's a crime scene. Oh my goodness. I've been watching way too much crime TV. A plant died here. I may have to use this again for sopping up again. Kind of like the way it looks. All right, let me go hang this up. Okay, I thought after my papers dried, I ironed them and painted them, that I would come back and show you what I ended up with. Let me find a white background here, so not so green. This is the waxy part of the paper. This was the first wet tissue strength I did with the color burst and got carried away. Wow, it looks much darker in person than it does on camera. Woo! So I went back and just took a Posca and dotted the turquoise, and then I dotted the white on top of that to give it color so it brightens it up a little bit. I didn't want to do all white. All right, and the next one are the hearts. I have not done any wet strength stuff, painting on it. I just left it the way it was. I went through with the Posca pen and did a light pink, a dark pink, and a purple. I should have done color background on it, but completely forgot when I started doing this morning. This one, again, the same. It was on the clothesline yesterday while I was doing the video, drying, because these are very heavy black circles. So this morning I completely forgot it had no color on the background. I just started coloring it in with the Posca and blah. So it's I've got blue Posca with white on top of it, and then I did the green for the leaves. There's that one. So I have two out of the wet strength ones I didn't do anything with, and now that I put the Posca on it, I can't. All right, this one does have color. This is another one where all I did was I just took a pink Posca and put dots in where it was white before, or was very light colored paint. This one I didn't get so carried away like I did the purple one. It was crazy thick. Then I have this one. I'm not going to do anything to it. I like it exactly the way it is. I thought about doing the center of the flowers, and I thought, well, then I'll have to do other... No. It's fine the way it is. Then I have this one. If I can untangle it. This is the one where I did the red background with the pink roses in the middle. I'm leaving it the way it is. I'm not doing anything else to it. This one I totally messed up on. I wasn't going to make this look like a 4-leaf clover, but I said, oh, you know, I'm going to do flowers. I'll do red flowers. No, I forgot and did it in green. So I went back to make the color brighten up a little bit by putting yellow Posca dots in the center of all the flowers. Then I found, where is it? I did a couple more that I have not stamped, but I ironed all these papers this morning while I was watching TV. So I ironed this so it would lay flat, but this is one of the ones that I think this might be a sop-up paper. I can't remember, but I didn't stamp it. It has no stamping on it. It's just color, but I will stamp something on it later when I get around to it. And this one was another one that I didn't, it was a sop-up, sort of spread stuff around sort of thing. Again, there's nothing stamped on this, but it is ironed. Then this was the paper that I laid down underneath those other papers. I'm thinking about stamping on this and using this for collage or something. It's deli paper, just regular old deli paper. Then there's this one, which went down after I got really into it. You know, I'd set this on top of there, and then I sopped up some of it, and then I put paint on it. So I'm going to continue with this piece, and I think I'm going to make sure that I get paint around the edges. It's not going to be a jelly pull. I'm not going to do that to it. It'll all be watercolors. So there's the piece that I covered up this mat with. So here we go with the other one that was a sop-up paper, you know. And this one has nothing. And like I said, I ironed all these this morning, and I put it on the lowest setting I could, the coolest setting, and no steam. Since this is watercolor with the sprinkles of color burst, it didn't stick. My iron is Teflon, but nevertheless, sometimes when you iron things, it kind of, you know, is jerky. So I made sure that this was on the lowest setting. And I did this before I put the Posca on it because that is acrylic paint and I didn't want it to mess up the iron. So there are all my pieces of the Wet Strength. I think it's called Yankee, YEAQEE. Wet Strength tissue paper. Bought it off of Amazon. Comes in big, huge sheets. Like I said in the video, I cut them in half because this is more manageable than, you know, this size here. Double. Because even my jelly plate, which is one of the largest jelly plates, it won't, the tissue won't fit on there. So I did cut them down to bite-sized pieces here, and I will use them in the future. So that is my Wet Strength paper experiment. I hope you guys try this. It's very messy and it's a lot of fun. And I did get the ink off my fingers. I have one of those, oh, I can't remember if it's Tim Holtz. I think it's Ranger. The round, fat kind of disc thing, and you just rub it on your skin. So I lather my hands up with warm soapy water, and then I get what I can off with that, and then I go back whatever's left over with that, and it kind of scrubs it off your skin. It's not like a lava stone. It's much softer. So it came off. So I'm very pleased that I don't have to walk around today with fingers covered in ink. All right, thanks everybody for watching. I have another video that's going to follow this one pretty quickly about something else that I did the same day I did these. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.